So first of all, I'll request everybody to put your mics on mute. We will get started. This is our second monthly call on the journey of Guru Nanak Dev Global University. Today's agenda that we are going to go over is we will finalize our vision and mission, which is pretty much done. We'll talk about the Center of Excellence. We will talk about the Pulse Journal, which is being launched, calendar for Pulse, the webinar, which is going to be hosted this month, the land strategy, next year's World Punjabi Convention, and then the India's Semiconductor Research and Development Center Park that we're building, and partnerships and next steps. So let's get started with the vision statement. We had several discussions in the last monthly meeting. So I will kind of repeat the finalized vision statement that we have. It is to transform students into global leaders through the power of inspired learning and self-development for positive social impact. So that is the vision statement. And the mission statement we changed. There were good inputs that let us not kind of target and our mission statement to be among the top 200, but we can have a target of Center of Excellence goals. So our mission statement states, our mission is to provide a world-class education that fosters excellence in science, technology, and liberal arts with this sharp focus on application-oriented. So the words are highlighted. Application-oriented research and result-based innovation for holistic development of students. The other key word was interdisciplinary. So with an interdisciplinary approach and a strong emphasis on UNESCO's Sustainable Development Goals, SDG. We intend to become the first university by adopting all the SDGs to create an ecosystem of inspired students and professional staff to strive for practical solutions through imparting skills and knowledge. We aim to inspire, inculcate, and nurture the values of compassion, equality, and social responsibility, drawing inspirations from the teaching of Guru Nanak Dev Ji. By 2035, we strive to establish 5 world-class centers of excellence that prepare students to become enlightened global citizens actively contributing to society. So this was based on the last month's call and post working. These were the 2 key things that were finalized. Then we started identifying, these were the mission goals, which we have created from the 17 SDG goals of UNESCO. And from the mission goals, we have identified 8 Center of Excellences. We don't have to work on all of those, but these are the 8 Center of Excellences that we have identified. Sustainable Development Harmony, Center of Excellence for Nanomaterials and Semiconductor, Quantum Computing, Big Data, and Artificial were all clubbed together as a Quantum AI Nexus. Environmental sustainability as eco solutions, food and agriculture as an agri-tech center of excellence, and technology and innovation as tech innovative center of excellence, cultural heritage as melody, sports and physical wellness and vitality. I'm just going to finish one more slide and then I'm going to pause for inputs. The way that we are structuring the Center of Excellence is some of the Center of Excellence, so it's like a cross matrix. A Center of Excellence could also service another Center of Excellence. So if you look at the biggest Center of Excellence for quantum computing, big data, and AI, would service all other excellence departments. So it is a cross matrix where one center of excellence is servicing the other center of excellence also. And underneath the center of excellence, we will go ahead and define departments and curriculum. So I'm going to pause here and take any inputs and suggestions.
Baljit, could you please put it in presentation mode? We could use some space to. Yeah, thank you.
With all the screens that are open. Is that better?
Yeah, much better. We can read better now. I'm on phone. So. Yeah.
So any input suggestions? Alfred, any input suggestions from your side?
Not as of now, Baljit.
Okay. So again, like I said, is we have identified 8 center of excellences. We are not going to start working on all of 8 of them. I will cover which are the top 2 priorities later in the presentation. So let's continue further. Our next is Pulse Journal. We are launching our Pulse Journal, which essentially stands for promoting, understanding, and learning through shared experiences. The current editorial team is composed of Alfred, Amarjyoti Mangat, Dr. Anil Kapoor, Paramjit Singh Katu, Kavinder Chand, Vivek Bogra, and myself. The editorial team, everybody is welcome to join the editorial team. The requirement to be on the editorial team is 1 article per month and focus to be a subject matter expert. So each one of us will take a subject matter expert, will become, and will kind of cultivate, look at all the articles that are coming. We have done a little bit different. I'm going to go back to here. So here. So this is our website. I'm just going to go back and refer many things that are already on the website. So on the website, we have the calendar. Calendar outlines each issue, what we are going to be launching. So July issue will be an inaugural issue, which will essentially have all our vision, mission, and it will outline several things. We have a draft of it ready, which I'll be sharing that with you. Precursor of any issue is a webinar. So we will have a webinar. Our first webinar is going to be on 23rd of July, which is next Sunday. The first webinar is on mental wellness because our next month's magazine, August journal, is on mental wellness. So the way what is planned is webinar, we will launch the month's issue, but the webinar is focused on the next month's key topic. So July 23rd, we are hosting a webinar on mental wellness. The August issue is the mental wellness. The webinar in August is going to be on gender empowerment and women because the next month issue is on that. So this, our website has all the issues that are being planned and also the webinar details. Coming to our first journal, we are going to be launching this next Sunday, which is July 23rd. I just want to show you the glimpse of it. It is already about a 54-page journal. I will be sharing with everybody by within our core team by Tuesday maximum. And this essentially what it has is editorial note, vision and mission, basically an invitation from the founding members. Then going down further, a poem on Guru Nanak Dev Ji, life journey of Guru Nanak Dev Ji, then our mission statement. So essentially, we're going to, in the inaugural, we're going to cover everything about our university all the way with our advisory board members, the development team members, everybody's brief will be there. So this is the inaugural issue, which will be launched next week. The first webinar on mental wellness is being held on July 23rd. We will have two keynote speakers, Dr. Benjamin Miller and Dr. Madhukar Trivedi. Dr. Madhukar Trivedi, in fact, it is already on the website also. I'm going to go back here. So it is same time, July 23rd, 8 p.m., 10:30 East Coast time. These are the two speakers. Dr. Benjamin Miller is kind of a very well-known advocate on mental health awareness. He has been part of a lot of different companies, boards. Dr. Madhukar Trivedi is the Center of Excellence head at UT Southwestern Medical Center in Dallas. He will be the keynote speaker along with Dr. Benjamin. So this is in that webinar itself, we will be launching our first journal in that webinar. I'll pause here for any inputs, suggestions on the Pulse journal and the webinar. Any input, suggestions?
We've already talked about it, Baljit ji. We may also add in here the theme for the next webinar, which will happen in August, so that it prepares everybody for what is going to happen in the next webinar.
Yes, yes, definitely. That's a very good input. So we'll include that also. So Ajo, let's further proceed. Our next big ticket item, which we are building right now, is the land purchase. So based upon inputs from a lot of people, this is something that we have developed so far. Essentially, in order to kind of buy the land, we have to think about in a way that it's an investment to the original people that are going to be part of this. So our thought process is the following, that we will target to purchase 25 acres of land. University will keep 20 acres. And we will leave the 5 acres for the initial investors with us to sell that when the university is matured. This way, the investors that are coming on board for the land purchase will essentially be able to get their return on investment and will easily kind of be part of the journey. So this way, we kind of open this up to actual investors in the market also, because they will see value to it. So the whole premises is we will go for the larger portion of land. We will only keep 20 acres for the university. Based upon the investor, we might go for 25 acres or 30 acres based upon their inputs and appetite. Anything beyond 20 acres, they might, when the university is matured, they are open to sell that. So any suggestions, especially Colonel Tiwari ji, would love your input on this.
I just wanted to understand, Baljit, like, first of all, what is this in US? We want to set up a university. What is this 501c3? And what are the processes involved and what will be the total cost of this land that you're talking about?
So 501c is a not-for-profit organization. So for example, so these are charity organizations and you have to register this both for federal and the state. Our university is already registered. So we are already registered under this. We have already got the SAM registration, which is a federal registration. So we have received that for the university. Now for the land purchase, typically about 20 to 25 acres, the cost of land in DFW is about $5 million US.
Okay.
So thought process was, I talked to a few American investors also, as we are kind of approaching into the acquisition phase of land. The way, you know, we have to look at the investors who are going to come into this. They have to look at ROI. There are two types of investors. One is people who are just focused on ROI. The other is they're looking for as recognition of their families. And third is giving back to the society, and they're not looking for any returns. So to get the process going, we thought that, you know, the university journey is getting started. So we need to kind of attract everybody. So this was the strategy that a few investors have suggested us, that you buy more than what the university needs and the rest we keep it for them to sell. But the land will be owned, that 20 acres will be owned by the university.
Okay, and what are the rules, other things I'm talking in terms of, there must be certain prerequisites also, no? Besides the land, that you must already be running some type of, because that is what we have in India, that you have got to be having your own university and or your own college or school, and so
No,
what are
so
the type of rules?
those all come after the land purchase. So if you have to create any degree programs in the state of Texas, you have to have a land purchased, and then you kind of go into the next level of approvals. Whatever approvals that are required at the federal level, we already got it. Now at the state of Texas, we have to acquire the land. Now the land acquisition is not required if you are just doing online certification courses. Then you can go with just small piece of office somewhere, that's also okay. But if you're doing with the degree courses, bachelor's or master's or PhD, you will need actual land in physical entity somewhere.
Okay.
So this is what we are right now pursuing as a land strategy, where we will go ahead to purchase more than what university needs, and university will be given 20 acres. And that the investors that come in, they are okay to sell to get their ROIs for the initial investment, because typically I think they will probably sell after 5 years of their investment.
Baljit ji, I've got two questions. One is when we look at 5 acres, which is the investor, should I say, investment into the land parcel, are we looking at a society or a trust firstly, which will be actually holding this land? And the second is, suppose there are, when you've written investor, it could be more than one as well. And if there are more than one who are keen on this, then would it be prorated, or what is the big thought that we have on this?
Yeah, so typically these are done under the RIT model, real estate investment models. So if there are more than one investors, it'll be all prorated on that 5 acres of ROI. So right
have
now, where we have reached is we have identified few parcels of land within DFW. We are kind of at a stage where we are going and looking at it. Some of those land parcels we have rejected because they were in flood-prone zones. So we are being very careful to see that the land parcels that we identify has few key criteria. One, it is closer to highways. Second, if it has an existing building or existing structure, sewage, we are giving that as a preference. Third point is essentially it should not be in any flood-prone areas. So it'll take another 6 months of traction for this. So our goal is before the end of the year to have the land under our belt. But within next 2 months, university will have a small office very soon in DFW area.
But generally, like what happens in India when we set up a university, other thing, like one thing that I want to know is, first is the total costing, the total the funds that are required. It's not only for the land, for other works as well. That's one. Second thing is, generally what we used to do out here before we start the university, we already tie up with any other type of a university where we set it up, we run some type of courses, and then we try to expand. Is something like that we're doing, or you're planning to start everything on your own right from the very beginning? Or are we collaborating with some of the universities?
You will see, we discussed in the last month's call. So we are tying up with the universities both here and India. So the strategy that we are deploying is we have already in principle agreed with Rochester Institute of Technology. They will be our partners for deploying these courses. And in fact, Rochester Institute of Technology is also our technology partner for the Semiconductor Research and Development Center that we plan to do in India, which I'll be talking shortly about it. Along with that, we are in discussions with several universities in India who have shown interest for department chair in the university in Dallas. So University XYZ in India can have a department chair under their name at our university in Dallas. So our total budget for the project we have is kept as 25 million, 5 million for the land, 7 million for construction and uprighting it based upon the status of the land, and the final about 10 million is for the operations we'll be setting aside. So total funds that we're trying to raise with all the department chairs and also donations is 25 million.
Okay.
And a detailed financials and business plan for the investors and potential partners is being worked out right now.
So you are planning to also do an investors network program or some type of listing as well?
Yes, yes. We want to be open with all different angles on our journey.
Okay.
Good. So let's move further. Every month we will be discussing further on the progress of the land till we have this under our belt. So I would love inputs from everybody. I'll keep you updated. Now let's come on the next year's planning.
I just want to add one thing, Valjit, is next year we are planning an investors network program with St. Clara University in SFC. And they have already got the center, Miller Center for Sustainability for the centers. This year we held it in Asia. It was held in Malaysia. So now we're planning to hold it there next year. So I'm in conversation with that particular center. So once that thing comes up, I will extend an invitation to you as well, where if you attend, you will be able to get in touch with all the other corporates and the university who's networking with some of these partners.
No, excellent. Is the date finalized for that or?
No, I'm just in the process of finalizing the date. Initially, it was 25th of August. I got caught up with something. So I have now moved it to the next year. So now this we are doing with the Indian University. We are doing with the University of St. Clara.
Okay. Okay. Very good. Very good. So coming next to World Punjabi Convention, what we are planning is a 3-day event next year. June 20th is when we will launch all our online courses. So it'll be a hybrid model that we're targeting, but online model is when we're targeting to start on June 20th. Because by then we will have the land and the construction will take time based upon whether we take an existing building or not. Our goal is to start with the online model right away. It won't be for all the departments. It'll be on selective department courses and curriculums. The other is followed by the opening ceremony, which is planned on June 20th. 21st and 22nd is the World Punjabi Conference. All of the, I will not go into the detail, but all the details of the conference are on the website. So if you just go on the events and under events, you have two right now, our webinar and World Punjabi Convention. Under World Punjabi Convention, you can see the entire 3-day plan for World Punjabi Convention, day 1, day 2, day 3. So all the links I'll include. So what we have started doing is we have started reaching out to the community here. So we get this support in the DFW for the convention. So I, in fact, started reaching out to gurdwaras, temples, other NGOs. I was on the radio channel 2 weeks back. The way that we are hosting is, first of all, attracting the volunteers and also reaching out to the community for our international participants for them to stay with them. So we kind of, we will give 2 options to the participants. They can either stay at the hotel, which they will pay directly, or if they want to stay with their family, it'll be free of cost. So that's the planning for the World Punjabi Convention 2024.
I just want to ask you, do you have an association of Punjabis for North America?
Yes, so we kind of reaching out to all different associations that are out there, as well as all the gurdwaras, temples, all the charity organizations also.
Yeah, because if you're able to
US as well as Canada.
Yeah, so because that's what I'm saying, North America and other things, which includes all of them. So that will give you a lot of traction. So how you're able to get, because we have got a association of Uttarakhand in North America, and we have got more than 550 engineers and everyone who are part of them, and they are a big source anywhere that we hold these conferences, everything, something like that you have, where they are also able to help financially and also in terms of the technical expertise and other part as well.
Yeah, would love any connections you can make. We would love that. But right now we are going with that same strategy, approaching every charity organization, gurdwaras, Punjabi associations to build a traction on the conference.
Okay.
Yeah, we already, FYI, we already have more than 50 registrations for the next year convention.
Okay.
So this registrations have come in from Canada, US, and India, and a few registrations from Europe. Yeah.
Great.
So I think we will easily have 100 plus overseas participants, and the rest about 400 to 500 local community. So we're targeting this with about 500 people right now.
Great. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, now let's switch our gears. There are two center of excellences that we have started working more deeper into it. The first one is the Center of Excellence for Nanomaterials and Semiconductor Research, which is going to be called Nanotech. This essentially, we have to think our university is global, given the name. Guru Nanak Dev Global University, it is a global, and when you're looking at building a center of excellence, it is never confined to your own campus. It is all about collaborations globally that you can build. So under the umbrella of Center of Excellence and Nanomaterials, we are planning a semiconductor nexus park in India. This will be under the Semicon program of the Government of India, where we are planning to apply, put an application by October of this year. The center is going to be focused on two key areas. One is on advanced technology, other is on skill development. We are getting a lot of good interest on this. So going further on this here, India is becoming a hub for semiconductor. If you look at it, a lot of investments, Micron, all major Indian conglomerates are jumping into fab development. Everybody is looking at fab, but nobody is focusing on research and development. And I think that's where our focus is going to drive importance to the journey for Indian semiconductor. Coming to what our focus is going to be, our focus is going to be nanomaterials, process characterization, packaging, and testing. These are the four verticals of this R&D center. Along with it, we'll be focusing on the skill development. We already received an interest to get a staff of 2,000 people in semiconductor by 2025. So there is a lot of interest by corporates who are coming to us and saying that, hey, if we are looking for skilled staff at different levels, and they are looking to partner with us on this journey. Going further, this semiconductor nexus will focus on industry collaborations, academic collaborations, and startup ecosystem. I was at a conference early on this week, 3 days in California, and I can tell you about 7 to 10 organizations have come forward to be part of this journey with us. Majority of those organizations are from Europe. Germany is showing a lot of interest to partner with us in India. So I will be unfolding the names of those companies. Our goal is to sign an MOU with each one of them. And then that will make our application for the Government of India much stronger. The collaboration that we are seeking with each one of these companies, the industry collaboration is for future R&D works, for disruptive technology, and that it is also for joint research initiatives, consortium projects, and it is also for skill development, because all of these companies are coming to India, but they do not have manpower for their investments that they're planning to do. So we will become a skill as well as their future R&D center for them. Our technology partner is Rochester Institute of Technology, because they already have a They were in US's first semiconductor program was launched at this university. They are already a partner with us on several other things, and they have agreed to in principle for the India project also. So we are right now in the midst of signing an MOU for India side. We already have an MOU with them for several other areas for semiconductor cybersecurity with them. I'm going to pause on this right now. Any inputs on the Center of Excellence for Nanomaterials and Semiconductor?
Yes, Baljit, this is Krish.
Yeah, Chris.
Yeah, so it's an exciting opportunity. You talked about skill development as well. It's not about just the research. You touched upon it being a global university. You want to, it's almost like Nalanda side, right? So everybody comes from everywhere in the world. We're not just India focused. That's a good point. The other thing is it's not only teaching what can be done, also transitioning the students who come out of this into transition to the industry in the right fit for the job. I've done this for about 10, 11 years of skill development, specifically in semiconductor, which is very, very important because people have a lot of, they go to good colleges and everything. They don't have much of a skill to fit in, right? So I think it's very important. Yeah.
Yeah, Chris. In fact, Chris is the CEO of Semilinks, and they are already funders of one seat of scholarship for the semiconductor program that we run with Rahat Bahara University in Mohali. So, Chris, along with that, we look forward for your great involvement under this Semiconductor Nexus Park that we're trying to build.
Sure. Just to add to that, I built a platform called SkillClick, which was quite popular in US. I had approached multiple US universities. Because of COVID, we couldn't progress. So I could replicate the model, right, wherein we groom, our students from the second or third year of their college. So they get into do the industry projects or interlink them and a lot of good stuff. Thank you.
Anybody else? Any input, suggestions on the Semiconductor Nexus program?
Baljit, it is a great initiative. It is also where the national mission of India lies. Semiconductor is a huge, huge national mission. And now there are these Atal Innovation Centers. There are these technology innovation hubs. And then there are these centers of excellence. These three are handled by different, should I say, entities. Technology innovation hubs are typically with IITs. In fact, I am on the board member at IIT Tirupati in one of them, dealing with precision and positioning. Then we have the Atal Innovation Centers and Centers of Excellence. Atal Innovation Centers are again driven by Ministry of Higher Education and DST. And COEs are driven by MeitY. So I think it's a great, great start. And we could actually engage with all these ministries to find common denominators so that when we look at application-oriented research, I think we can make a tremendous difference by engaging at the grassroots level for TRL 1 to 3 kind of technology readiness levels. And from 4 to 6, we could look at some industries. We have Bharat Forge, who has come up with the Technology Innovation Development Center, and many more who are there. I would like to name for want of time. And so that could be TRL focus will come when we look at product. So if we look at the whole continuum, I think there is a huge, huge opportunity. It's a great initiative.
Thank you. I think,
Baljit, if I may add another 5-second comment.
Yeah, go ahead, Krish.
Yeah. So our goal is not only to create engineers who will be employed. We want to create entrepreneurs. I want to underline that because as we talked offline, I'm sitting on some of the innovation, right, which can be good startups in semiconductor area. So we can have that aspect of entrepreneurship. So I'm very, excited to have that entrepreneurship in semiconductors. When students come out, they become entrepreneurs as well. Yeah.
Excellent. So this was one. The second center of excellence that we are looking to build is around the center of excellence for environment sustainability, eco solution. In fact, I think it is very appropriate center to focus given the floods that are happening in North India. So eco environment sustainability or eco solution is a very big umbrella, but it will also, in fact, we have a document which kind of talks about all the center of excellence that we are. So I had shared this early on. I just added, when I was looking at the center of excellence, I didn't see an emphasis on floods. So since all this happened, I added 4.5 section. So you could think that each one of these items are departments within the center of excellence. So I feel within the center of excellence for environment sustainability, we should have a department of flood awareness and prevention. Now, I did further study is when we look at the floods that are happening in Punjab, we kind of looked at all the way from 1858 till 2023. So if you if you zoom in, it's the same area that's getting flooded. The frequency of flooding is increasing. That's the other thing that you can see from the data. Initially, it was 50 years, then it was 20 years. Now it is about every 4 to 5 years. So there is a need for awareness, and there is a need for also technology that could enable people to alarm ahead of time as the water is coming down, or even further. There needs to be a lot of work that could be done, and we could start with this as a focus and start writing papers to create awareness. Just so that you are aware, Road for Change, which is the 51C.
Baljit, before the first part that you told me, I just want to tell you, as far as sustainability is concerned, the latest concept that is going on is how, as far as the corporates are concerned, we are able to ensure that we are able to come up with ESG indices, because these ESG indices also are now moving the stock markets. And that is the way the future is going to lie. And that is what we are working these days when we talk in terms of ESG indices. When you're talking in terms of floods and this mitigation, the part of it, this comes under the disaster management. So now one is the part of the disaster management, which is also part of the environment under the bigger picture of ecology. So we have got to be very careful when we are differentiating. Otherwise, we might be putting our hands in too many things at one particular time. And since you have this particular university also that you are talking about, you are trying to put it with the SDG goals. So how we are able to create these ESG indices and connect them to the SDGs also, that is the one which is going to help us in taking it further.
Yeah, so I just want to point out the environment and sustainability development are two separate things that we are looking at. So when what you're talking about, the SDG development goals is a separate center of excellence. In fact, we'll put that as a number one in this document. All the renewables, all the other are the targets that we're trying to do in that. Now, all I'm trying to say is these are 8 center of excellences. We are not going to work on all 8, but we need to pick 2 and start going one level deeper. So these were the 2 center of excellences we felt that we could kind of go one level deeper. And it might happen that 2 months down the road, we might say that, hey, the center of environment is something that we need to put in the back burner and focus on something else. So, remember that to me, I think unless we go one level deeper, we will not know which are the key areas to focus. Center of excellence for nanomaterials and semiconductor is very clear path, because my degree is in that. There is a lot of interest. We have corporate interest. We have government of India interest. But we need to pick one more additional center of excellence to run with, to unpeel the onion. So I'm not, we are not going to make a decision today that this is the center of excellence that we need to work under an environment, whether it's a disaster or what. But this is just an idea that we are starting this in today's monthly process. In fact, I was talking to Anilji. What I would suggest is maybe Anilji, you could take up on this. I will take the semiconductor side, and you could take one level deeper into this as an action item, what we need to do under environment.
Perfectly fine. We can do that.
Balji, can I interrupt you for a moment? Can you hear me? You see, what I see is a very strong linkage between energy, environment, and agriculture. And I think the next major developments will be in the interaction of these disciplines. Environment, my personal feeling is that the long-term solution to carbon dioxide capture lies in oceans and land. Carbon capture is the emerging technology, which 5 years or 10 years hence will probably emerge as the major technology. After all, the way carbon has been captured for centuries, it has been in water and it has been in soil. And that is what we are recovering today as oil and fossil fuel resources. That is the carbon that was captured by the environment, generated by the agricultural systems. Agricultural systems itself are highly, highly energy dependent. As early as 1972, Dr. Pimentel at Cornell had carried out a research saying that for every kilocalorie of food, corn, he specifically took corn, generated, we use 2.2 kilocalories of fossil fuel energy. It's an energy intensive process. Agriculture should be an energy regenerative process. I had carried out the same analysis for Indian agriculture 2 years later in 1974 and very well published. And that says that energy inputs in Indian agriculture are less. But we cannot delink energy from agriculture and environment. When we talk of energy renewable, we put biomass energy, solar energy. Solar energy capture, the best solution will be agriculture. Panels themselves are very good, but they themselves are energy. So if we, instead of having centers for environment and agriculture and food, if you could have one center of excellence for energy, agriculture, and environment, maybe we would be able to look at the interactions that are more important. The purpose of centers of excellence was to get away from those isolated chambers and work on something where the interactions are more important. We can make a greater contribution. Perhaps you may want to think about it, just a suggestion.
No, Dr. Tuljiji, I think it's an excellent idea because, you know, the whole goal of the Center of Excellences is to look at the challenges and interconnection. I think this is a great input. Anil, let us take this further.
Yeah, following up from what Dr. Daljit has said, actually is something that I was going to say, that today when you look at the big data analytics, whether it is energy, whether it is environment, whether it is fossil fuels, whether it is ocean, whether it is land, whether it is geology, actually everything gets nicely mapped today with the technology to create a big data analytics map. In fact, when we are looking at the technology innovation hub precision and positioning, this is exactly where our focus lies, that today there is so much of convergence in everything and everything is data dependent. when we look at, earth mass, fossil fuel, geology, it all actually converges to a big data analytics problem. And then based on the problem, you pick up your data sets and define solutions. And there are linkages, like Dr. Diljit very brilliantly brought out, the linkages between energy, environment, and agriculture. That is just one maybe nexus. There are many more ecosystems with dealing with GHG and with the carbon footprint, the way it is happening, the way the environment is getting affected. So really speaking, our center that we've talked of big data analytics and sustainability development, which you said had cross linkages, actually is going to be perhaps the most important pillar or a nucleus of our centers of excellence, because with time, that is where everybody is going to research, everybody is going to move forward from. Even what Dr. Daljit brought out of a 74 study, I'm sure getting data at that time would be a very big challenge to do a meaningful research. And today, we can actually get global data and make the research a little more interesting and fruitful. So I take his point, and I think we can discuss this further bilaterally or trilaterally or as a system again to see how to take this forward from the perspective of a center of excellence. It's a great idea. In fact, just one more minute I'll take.
Sure.
I was in New York, attending a seminar. I didn't know it was driven by the Chinese. They have an international center on big data analytics and SDGs, and it is supported by United Nations. So that was the seminar that was being held, and they brought out how all the SDGs, 17 SDGs, are big data dependent. And much more inputs are coming out when we look at the big data analytics. So I think there is a huge future here, and we must capitalize as a global university because not very many universities are cognizant of this. And if we can become amongst the first few who look at it this way, is going to make a mega difference. And I think that could be one very good way of looking at future education and making departments and curriculums accordingly.
Excellent.
That's it.
So I think, Daljit, I love your input here. So we will, Anilji, you start looking at environment, energy, and agriculture, or maybe sustainability, all these clubbed together and kind of see how you can present this with inputs from Daljit ji and Colonel Tiwari also and everybody else next month.
Yeah, but
Okay.
Baljit, only I want to say, when you're saying Center of Excellence for Environment, we can put it as ecology as well, because it will cover all the ecosystems.
Okay.
I think, as he rightly said, we can create a small group, discuss amongst ourselves, and maybe by the next meeting, we have more clarity on how we wish to proceed with this Center of Excellence.
Yeah.
But basically, I see the three major constraints, particularly for developing countries today, are energy, food, and environment.
Yes.
And they have a strong interaction. Each
Yes.
one of them has a cost in some other form. Agriculture has a cost in energy, agriculture has a cost in environment, environment impacts all those. And if we can have a center which looks at all of these in totality rather than in isolation, maybe we would have a role of leadership in the international arena, apart from different from the other universities.
Yes.
Dr. Daljit, just to complement your point, actually the developing countries lack all this and technology. If you see today, the developed countries actually are using the power of technology to give to the world everything which is technology dependent, because all these have a lot of cross linkages. So I totally take your point. We'll make a small group and maybe discuss this further.
Perfect.
Okay. So we are in agreement. Anilji, you're going to take the environment, energy, agriculture, ecology type center of excellence, define that further. And I'll keep working on the nanomaterials and semiconductor side. So this way we can divide and conquer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
I think that was all for today. I'll open the floor to everybody now. I'll go from left to right here. Dr. Tara Singh ji, any input, suggestions? Let's go. I think he's Colonel Tiwari ji. Any input?
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine, Baljit. I think that's fine. Yeah.
Anil ji, you're on mute. Anil ji, you're on mute.
Okay, yeah, perfect. I think it's very nice. In fact, what I'll do is, since you've given me a primary, I'll request you, I'd like to be associated with nano and semiconductors also, because I've worked on this in this field, including lasers in the EM spectrum. And that could be a secondary along with you.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Yeah. Dr. Dulji ji, any inputs from your side? Final
Why,
input?
congratulations, Baljit ji. You're doing excellent work. It's a lot of work. I wonder how you get it done all these in such a short time. My heartiest congratulations.
Everybody is supporting, so that it's all happening.
Great anyway.
Chattha Saab, any inputs from your side? Chattha Saab is on mute. Chris, anything from your side? Dr. Bal Saab, Dr. Kattu ji, Dr. Paramjeet Singh Kattu.
Hanji, am I audible, Bilji sir?
Hanji, Hanji.
Hanji. So all is going well, but I have one suggestion. If we can incorporate Guru Sahib's teaching in every field, because this is our uniqueness. If we can incorporate Guru Nanak Dev's teaching, because name of university, so this will be very unique and it will be actually out of the box, because in the world there are very big institutions working on the every field. So if possible, we have to incorporate teachings of Guru Sahib.
No, definitely. In fact, Dr. Kattu ji, मेरे दिमाग से एक चीज आई है. What you could do is कि these two center of excellence, we kind of look at and then look at see is which of his teachings we should stress within the center of excellence.
Perfect.
So we can relate specific to his journey to the center of excellence.
जी.
So if
ਤਾਂ
you
ਸਾਨੂੰ
start looking at that.
ਬਲਜੀਤ ਜੀ ਆਪਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਨਾ ਇਸ ਤੇ ਬਹੁਤ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਦੁਨੀਆ 'ਚ ਬਹੁਤ ਵੱਡੀਆਂ ਯੂਨੀਵਰਸਿਟੀਆਂ, ਬਹੁਤ ਵੱਡੇ ਸੈਂਟਰ ਹੋਣੇ ਆ, ਤੇ ਇਹ ਬਹੁਤ ਵੱਡੇ ਰਿਲੀਜਨ ਵੀ ਹੈਗੇ ਸੀ ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ, ਪਰ ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਦੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਯੂਨੀਕਨੈਸ ਸੀਗੀ ਉਹ ਆਪਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਆਪਣੀ ਯੂਨੀਵਰਸਿਟੀ 'ਚ ਉਹ ਯੂਨੀਕਨੈਸ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਰੱਖਣਾ ਪੈਣਾ.
नहीं, definitely I agree with you on that. So ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਟਾਸਕ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਯੂਨੀਕਨੈਸ ਲੱਭਣੀ ਹੈ in relation to the center of excellence.
ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਔਰ ਮੈਂ ਇੱਕ ਆਰਟੀਕਲ ਵੀ ਸ਼ੇਅਰ ਕਰਾਂਗਾ ਅੱਜ, ਇੱਕ IPS ਨੇ ਡਾਕਟਰ ਮਨਮੋਹਨ, ਤਾਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਨਾ ਇੱਕ ਜੋ ਨਹਿਰੀ ਸਿਸਟਮ ਆ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਦਾ ਆ ਉਹਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਵਧੀਆ ਰਿਸਰਚ ਕਰਕੇ ਅੱਜ ਉਹ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਟ੍ਰਿਬਿਊਨ 'ਚ ਪਬਲਿਸ਼ ਹੋਇਆ ਆਈ ਥਿੰਕ, ਤਾਂ ਉਹ ਵੀ ਸ਼ੇਅਰ ਕਰਾਂਗਾ. ਤਾਂ ਉਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਆਪਣਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਫਲੱਡ ਵਾਲਾ ਏਰੀਆ ਇਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਸੰਬੰਧਿਤ ਇੱਕ ਬਹੁਤ ਹਿਸਟੋਰੀਕਲ ਰਿਸਰਚ ਸਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ ਆ ਜਾਏਗੀ, ਤੇ ਉਹ ਇਸ ਸੈਂਟਰ ਲਈ ਹੈਲਪ ਕਰੇਗਾ.
Anybody?
ਸੁਜੈਸ਼ਨ ਇਹਦੇ ਤੇ ਹੋਰ ਹੈ, ਜੇ ਕੋਈ ਗੁਰਬਾਣੀ ਦੀਆਂ ਤੁਕਾਂ ਲੱਭ ਲਓ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਹਰ ਸੈਂਟਰ ਦੇ ਹਰ ਫੋਕਸ ਤੇ ਕੁਝ ਇੰਪ੍ਰੈਸ ਕਰਦੇ ਹੋਣ. I recall one of the first novels published by my son, every chapter starts with a quote from a philosopher. It impressed. If we have such
ਕੋਈ ਟਰਾਈ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਆ ਸਰ, ਆਪਾਂ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਪ੍ਰੋਪਰ ਨਾਟ ਓਨਲੀ ਕੋਟਸ, ਆਪਾਂ ਪ੍ਰੋਪਰ ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਦਾ ਵਿਜ਼ਨ ਤੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਫਿਲਾਸਫੀ ਨੂੰ ਇਨਕਾਰਪੋਰੇਟ ਕਰਨਾ ਪੈਣਾ ਜਾਂ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ. We will try our best for this.
It will be great. It will be very great, fitting with the mission.
Baljit, may I add something to it?
ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਸ਼ੇਅਰ ਕਰਨਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਜਦੋਂ ਲਾਂਚ ਕਰਨੀ ਹੈ ਯੂਨੀਵਰਸਿਟੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਕਾਨਫਰੰਸ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ, we are planning to launch a book on the quotes and teachings that are related to sustainability from Guru Granth Sahib.
Very good.
That's a great idea. I just want to add
very noble idea.
Yeah.
Dr. Tara Singh, any inputs from you to see? Anybody, before Dr. Gill gives his concluding remarks, anybody wants to give their input, suggestions?
I have
All
a point
good.
to add to
All
what the few gentlemen said about the dharmic, aspect of the university. I think it's a great idea to pick something from Gurbani. And for example, every IIT has its own motto, right? Like IIT Kharagpur has Yoga Karma Sukausalam. IIT Kanpur has Vidya Vinaya Sampanna, because education leads to humility and things like that. It's very important to have that added. Yeah.
Good, excellent. Anybody else wants to give any inputs before Dr. Gill gives us concluding remarks for today? Anji, Dr. Gill Saab, over to you. ਤੁਸੀਂ mute ਤੇ ਹੋ sir. Dr. Gill Saab, ਤੁਸੀਂ
Hello.
Now we can hear you.
Hanji Baljeet ji.
Hanji.
Baljeet ji, fellas, thank you very much. Our discussion was very fruitful and I have learned a lot. So all of us have learned a lot. The idea, university should be based on these ideas, great ideas. But then we should come to the reality. Our university should be student friendly. What will be our fee structure? That how the student will respond. And from where we will get the faculty, and faculty will be committed faculty, which will teach us. And we need first of all a foothold somewhere. We have a small foothold in Rajbara University, nothing else. So we must create something at some place as big as possible or as small as possible. And this our program, this should be the students passing out, coming out of, should be employable. Most of our students need an employment. The ideas are very great. Supposing we treat people, environment, religion, and all those. But will they be employable? Our degree should carry that weight. Our degree should be wanted. We are very clear that if we get something like semiconductor or cyber security, these will be employable. But then we need a foothold, we need students, and we need our faculty. I think we should look out into that area also.
Good. Very, very
Most
good.
of the
Good, excellent. Badhiya, sir. I mean, again, it's a journey. Holly, we will get to that, but these are good lighthouse directions that everybody is giving and you're giving. With all these directions and inputs, I am very confident that whatever we are taking up, embarking on, we will be successful.
Oh yes, there's no doubt about it.
Hanji, Dr. Tara Singh ji, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਕੁਛ?
Dr. Saab, thank you very much. I have a suggestion here. Are we going to start online classes also?
Hanji sir, so our goal is to start with online because the physical infrastructure of the university is going to take longer. Our plan is to launch the online curriculum by June 20th of next year.
So,
or maybe before, but our target is definitely by June 20th when we do the inauguration.
So sir, for undergraduate, I have a lot of potential of the students in India. The people do diploma and they join the department. After that, we had an option with the Institution of Engineers India, that is AMI. But there is some problem, some court cases for that. Can we accept the students after diploma online, because practical experience they are getting in the field, but wherever they are working, they are doing good job as the experimental project, etc. They do. But only thing they want to appear in the examination and maybe awarded degree, bachelor's degree. Then the tremendous students, I can assure you that you will get from India.
No, I think that's a very good input, sir. What we were planning to do, maybe that's a good point that we could discuss in our next call also. Our thought process is to first start with the 11th graders, which we call it junior high school students. What we can do to them, because there are a lot of Indian families in US do not know what their children are supposed to do in college. So what we were thinking of is small modules that will give like a one week training or a one week training online, which gives them an exposure of all the different fields that are out there. So we could start off starting the journey of a 11th grader all the way till the bachelor level online, what we want to do.
Because today there is a need, and students are in dire need to get something to improve their qualification after diploma.
Yeah.
And they are in job, because they cannot go to the university, they cannot go to the engineering college to improve their qualification. So probably we may help them, and we have a strong footing also in the students. Let us think about it.
Yeah, no, definitely. Good input. Good. Anything else from anybody? Otherwise, we will close.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Before we close, we will do our next call on, today is the 15th. So just give me 1 second. It will be on the 19th of August, which is the third Saturday. So next call on 19th of August, which is a third Saturday.
Thank you.
Same time. Okay. Thank you, everybody. Ji. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Baljeet.
Dr. Saab, thank you. Yogesh Saab.
Thank you.